Good evening. I'm Sheldon Fishman. I live in Silver Spring and have lived there for over 30 years, where we raised our 4 children. I too crossed the intersection of death to Forest Grove Metro stop, in case you haven't heard enough about that already. But that's not what I'm here for tonight. Tonight I'm here as a member of the Parents Coalition. The Parents Coalition was formed to improve the responsiveness and performance of Montgomery County Public Schools. Its 5 goals are included in the written testimony that's coming around. But I'm here to discuss in particular the greater transparency and accountability, particularly in reference to the law that you enacted last year, called the Maryland Funding, Accountability, and Transparency Act of 2008. It has a terrific title. First, though, congratulations to the new officers of the delegation, especially my District 18 Senator, Senator Madaleno. And I want to thank each and every one of you for voting for the Maryland Funding and Accountability and Transparency Act of 2008. The Transparency Act passed unanimously in both houses and was signed by the governor. Special thanks to Senator Raskin, a lead sponsor of this act in the Senate, and again, my District 18 delegate, Al Carr, was one of several Montgomery County sponsors in the House. The Transparency Act requires all state agencies to post their expenditures over $25,000 on a searchable website. Excellent. It is similar to the federal Google government law, which Senator Obama co-sponsored and passed with strong bipartisan support. Unfortunately, corrective action needs to be taken on the Maryland Transparency Act. As it stands now, it is the Anti-Transparency Act for half of the county's budget, the public schools. Let me say that again. It is the Anti-Transparency Act for half of the county's budget. How can the Transparency Act be an Anti-Transparency Act? The law applies to all state agencies. Montgomery County Public Schools is a subunit of state government.
Sheldon, can you wrap up?
Okay. But you will see the letter from the Attorney General explaining how this act actually preempts the county from passing a state.
Thank you. Ms. Hartucci?
Good evening. My name is Janice Sartucci, and I'm also a member of the Parents Coalition. This evening, I have one simple plea. Please stand up for the right of Maryland children to receive a free public education. You may have heard that Montgomery County Public Schools charges students to attend public school classes. These fees are known as curricular fees. Children are charged fees to attend English, math, science, social studies, and physical education classes, to name a few. Does Maryland give children the right to a free public education? Yes. That question has been answered by the Maryland Attorney General and the Maryland State Board of Education. Even the school board's own attorney has written on the right to a free public education for Maryland students. But MCPS administrators say the Constitution is an old, out-of-date document and continues to charge children who attend public school classes. You may have heard the school system say that no student is denied an education because of these curricular fees. But what you may not know is how students are punished when they don't pay curricular fees. What is the carrot that MCPS uses to keep parents and guardians paying these illegal fees? The carrot is that when curricular fees are not paid, students are denied access to all after-school and extracurricular activities, report cards are withheld, and tickets to graduation ceremonies and diplomas are withheld. Students who owe curricular fees even have their names posted on lists that are hung on the walls of some schools. Even homeless students who attend MCPS must apply for a waiver of curricular fees. While they get free lunch, they don't get free curricular fees. The other night, you met with the Board of Education and you talked about how Montgomery County is viewed in the state. Well, I can tell you from talking with people around the state, we're viewed as a very wealthy county because we can, in fact, get away with charging these exorbitant fees. An example would be outdoor education, which is part of the state-mandated curriculum. It should be, therefore, supplied as part of their free public education. However, in Montgomery County, students are charged anywhere from $76 to $88 to attend outdoor education. In Frederick County, the program is free. In Prince George's County, they do charge $1.75. Students that don't pay the fee in MCPS don't participate in the program. The Board of Education will tell you that if they lose this money, that charging students, they are going to be in trouble in their budget. But don't be fooled by that. The money collected from students does not go into the MCPS operating budget. The money stays right at the local school, and we have a website where we have compiled financial information to show you how the money is used at the local school. It can be anything from being spent on curricular items. It might be put aside. It might go to dinners. It might go to clothing for staff, all kinds of uses. One of the things that has deeply concerned me is why I don't see all children from all Potomac neighborhoods participating in something called the show choir at Churchill High School. This is my personal experience to this situation. Churchill does in fact have students coming from a variety of economic situations.
Thank you. Are there any questions? You have a number of questions. Delegate Ali?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've all seen a lot of this discussed in the newspapers and other media and by other members of our delegation. How long has this been going on? Because I just started hearing about this this summer, and how can we never heard about this before? Because it seems like such an important issue.
Well, I've been testifying about it personally for years to the Board of Education. I can tell you for sure the Board of Education changed their policy to permit curricular fees to be charged in, I think, 2004, I believe. So before that, they had a policy that said, for example, science labs could not charge a fee. The word "not" was crossed out, and then the policy was reissued. So when we got to 2004, we saw a definite sea change in how these curricular fees were viewed. This summer, a parent in the Parents Coalition did a Freedom of Information Act request for all the fees at the high school level, and that's the first time that we saw this 48-page document that listed over, I want to say over 2,000 fees that are being charged to the high school students. And you have to understand, when you're one parent and you're paying $100 for a book, it's one thing, but then you add it up and you start seeing it all together, and then when you get to the totally absurd $1,000 chorus class, it gets out of hand.
Is that chorus class a part of the core curricular, or is that like something really extra?
I don't know what you mean by extra. My son was a performing arts. He was in the performing arts signature program. It was part of his required courses to get through school.
It was part of his required course?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I would remind everyone that I believe there is local legislation in on this from Delegate Barve, and there'll be a delegation hearing on the subject, and of course encourage you to come back and testify.
Great.
Also in favor of that bill. So there'll be further conversation, which I'm sure will go to Delegate Kaiser's subcommittee.
Great.
Unfortunately, she's not here. Delegate Carr.
I want to thank both of you. And I also wanted to take a moment to thank the staff of Montgomery Community Television for televising this hearing and bringing it to a wider audience. That's much appreciated. The issue that Sheldon, you brought up, a lot of us saw the presidential debates, and President-elect Obama talked about a Google for government. That's legislation that passed at the federal level, and it's also passed at the state level here in Maryland. We've been given a roadmap from the Attorney General how to bring that down to the local school board level. Level would you like to see in that type of legislation?
I just want to see it passed.
Okay.
And basically at any level, then you can tune it later if it makes more sense. And County Executive Leggett is very much in favor of having this authority.
Okay. Thanks.
Senator King.
It's my understanding that the board took a look at a lot of the extracurricular expenses and have already taken some of those off. Is that not correct?
I have no I can't confirm that. And we're not talking extracurricular now.
No,
It's
I'm
very
sorry.
clear.
Yeah.
Right. It'd be very clear. In Maryland, curricular
It's
is
my
different than
understanding.
extracurricular. I have seen nothing come out from the board.
Okay. And I do, we're not going to argue about it tonight, but